day to all our viewers out there. My name is Heinrich Neetling and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we'll focus on transport maps and distance tables. Now, before I start with our lesson, let me quickly share something interesting with you. Now, did you know that the Global Positioning System, GPS as we know it, is a satellite-based navigation system consisting of a network of satellites placed into the orbit around the world. Now, interesting is that GPS works in all weather conditions anywhere in the world 24 hours a day. Now, the GPS satellites, right, it circles the Earth at a speed of about, listen to this, 11,000 kilometers per hour and 19,000 kilometers above the surface of the Earth, transmitting signal information to the Earth. Right? Now, GPS receivers take this information to calculate the user's exact location. Now, I found this really interesting. Okay, now let's look at what our lesson objectives are. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to, first of all, identify and interpret transport maps and distance tables, right? Remember, that is our topic for today's lesson. You must be able to determine general direction and cardinal points. Also important is that you must be able to perform calculations based on a given scenario. Then, identify key symbols indicated on a given transport map. Also important is that you must be able to calculate distance, speed, and time. Right, so we'll ask one of that depending on the scenario given to you. Then also important is that you must identify a scale and express the meaning of a specific scale in words. Then also indicated here is that you must use a given scale, right, to calculate the actual distance, meaning the real life distance. Okay, now here's basically what we'll expect in today's lesson. We'll look at transport maps and thereafter we look at distance tables. Okay, now let's quickly get familiar with some of the terminology, right, that's important for this lesson. I've indicated here that a map is a two-dimensional representation of an area of the Earth's surface, right? For example, a street map, and I'm sure you have seen a street map before. Then relative position. A relative position, right, is a position relative to surrounding landmarks. And it makes use of keywords such as left, right, up, down, etc. For example, the church is to the left of the primary school. Okay, so that's when we explain relative position. Then also important is compass direction, right? That's the 4 directions on a compass, right? We know north, east, south, west, right? The normal 4. This is also known as cardinal points. For example, as I've indicated just now, north, east, south, etc. Right? We also know we have a number scale, and that's going to be key in today's lesson. So a number scale is also known as a numeric scale. Okay? The scale is written in a format, a ratio format. And here we can see, for example, 1:50,000. There we can see our ratio. Okay? Now let's do a quick practice, and I want you to work with me. Let's answer this to the best of our abilities, right? Define the term distance table. Okay, so that is our question. So now, in words, what is a distance table? So a distance table is basically a table that shows, right, or indicates approximate distances, right? Approximate distances between places, right, or towns. Normally it will be towns on a map, and a distance table indicates the approximate distances between towns. Okay, so that's our first question. Let's now look at question number 2. It says identify the missing cardinal point. Now, when we look at what is presented here, we'll see here is north, west, south. Can we see? So here's the missing cardinal point. Okay, and I agree with you, that is definitely east. Okay, so the missing cardinal point here is east. Let's look at another question. In question number 3, we are saying choose the correct answer. Now let's see what the statement is. It says the diagram alongside, okay, there we have our diagram, is known as a transport map or a distance table. Now looking at what is presented here, it's indeed a distance table. Are we clear on that one? So this is a distance table indicating distances between different places. Okay, let's look at our last question here, true or false. The formula for calculating time is, we say time equals to distance divided by speed. Now guys, in this case, the answer is definitely true. Okay, so to calculate time, we take our distance divided by speed. Let's now focus on more important, language that's important to you. So I've indicated here that a transport map. What is a transport map? It indicates the transport routes that buses, trains and taxis takes, together with its stops to pick up and drop off passengers along the route. Also important, the main components are color-coded, right lines to indicate each route or service, with named icons to indicate stations or stops. Also important, transport maps can be found in the transit vehicles, right at the platforms or printed timetables. Then the primary function is to help users to efficiently use the public transport system, including which station as interchange between lines. Then looking at our distance table, other side of our lesson today, I've indicated that a distance table indicates approximate distance between towns in a table. Okay, there is no need to calculate distances using a scale, for example, on a specific map. A distance table is typically a matrix where the origins are shown in the first column and then your destination are shown in the first row. Okay, the distance from any origin to a destination is shown where a row and a column intersect. So basically where the row and the column meet. Now, that's what the word intersect referred to. Okay, guys, let us quickly take a short break. After our break, we look at transport maps. See you now.